Hey, I'm Zach McDonald, your real estate agent with Real Property Associates. And today's video is about pass or fail home inspections. A while ago, I made some videos about negotiating home inspections for buyers. I've also made a video on how to negotiate a home inspection for sellers. But I realized there's a video that was missing, and that is this pass or fail home inspection video. Now, imagine you're in a hot housing market like Seattle, and you want to stand out as a buyer. You have people that are just removing their inspection contingency altogether, and they are putting themselves in a incredibly difficult situation because they might not know what they're getting themselves into. It's risky. And in other cases, maybe the seller is providing some type of a pre-inspection report, and that's great, but you're still taking some risk. You're always taking on some risk, but you are relying on an inspection report provided by the seller. And that could be good, or it might not be good. And again, it's more situation dependent. But I think there is, if you're a buyer, a way to protect yourself and make a smarter play, assuming that the seller's open to it. And that is a pass or fail home inspection. And what that means is that you are, as the buyer, saying, hey, I'm still interested in purchasing your house. I just want to do a little due diligence, but you can also commit to not asking for repairs up front while also retaining your ability to back out of the contract. So in essence, you are saying the house is either going to pass or it's going to fail, but you are protecting yourself from the worst case scenarios. Now, buyers will sometimes still be able to negotiate with a seller in these situations. Sometimes the seller doesn't want to lose the deal if there is a bigger item that comes up. But for a buyer, at least in my opinion, the biggest fear isn't little things that you have to do, like tightening this plumbing piece or, fixing this light switch. It's the bigger ticket items that can cost you tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, usually tens of thousands, but there's bigger repairs that come down the pike that you might not know about. So for a buyer with the pass or fail inspection, you're saying, I'm going to either buy this house or I'm going to walk away, but I just want to do a little due diligence. And this is, I think, a better way than I'm just going to remove the contingency altogether for the buyer. But for the seller, they may still elect to take an offer like that because it is better for them. And before COVID, right, little history lesson, there were 5-10 different inspections happening on the same house at the same time. There were multiple inspectors that are at the houses. Buyers were doing their own pre-inspections. They were paying for it before they made offers. And it was a madhouse. There were showings overlapping. It was just so crazy as a real estate agent to try to navigate this. And that was the expectation, is that you would be able to get an inspector. I had multiple inspectors lined up, like, hey, this one's not available. Cool. This one, nope. Oh, yep, you can do it. Okay. And for inspectors, this was great because they were all getting a lot of business. And for inspectors, it's been a little bit harder as the market slowed down a little bit. But this pass or fail inspection has been entering more as a result of sellers doing the pre-inspection up front and providing those. So it did away with a lot of the pre-inspection that was happening by buyers. Why would you do that if the seller's already given you that report? But you also then still have maybe a little less competitive scenario where the buyer says, I really would like to do my own inspection, not just rely on this report. Or maybe they just want to make their offer feel stronger to the seller. Maybe they want to negotiate on the price a little bit, but then also commit, hey, I'm not going to keep negotiating with you if little repairs come up. So for buyers, you have an inspection still, right? You get to see what's going on with the house. You keep your right to back out of the contract. You can get your earnest money back. You're protecting yourself. The seller's more excited about your offer as a pass or fail inspection than it is, hey, I might still negotiate with you after your inspection's over. And you, as a buyer, avoid the bigger risks of blindly waiving your inspection, which is a little bit wild and crazy in the world. But for the seller, they like this because it gives them a little bit more assurance, right? And so for the seller, they don't feel like they're going to get beat up on price. They don't think you're coming back to them. You're going to keep negotiating with them on the small repairs that need to happen to the house. They get better terms than they would if you had that full contingency, right? It's better than having the full negotiation period as well. It takes a lot more time. They maybe have to make some repairs. So it's not just price, but it's also the effort that they have to put into it. And it usually does result in things going a little bit smoother on the back end for the seller, right? And again, a lot of that comes down to needing to bring contractors out and get repair work done, maybe having delayed timelines because work is maybe a couple weeks out. So I think overall for the seller, it's just more peace of mind, less headache. It doesn't mean that you as a buyer are going to be fully committed to moving forward, but it does give them a little bit more reassurance there. So I think if you are a buyer, there might be bigger concerns with the house and you have to be willing to walk away. That's a huge piece of the pass or fail inspection. And if you're not, and the seller knows you've committed to not negotiate with them, they're probably going to stick with that. Sometimes sellers will be more open to negotiating than others, but in a lot of cases, they don't want to negotiate with you as the buyer if you've committed to not negotiating. So you have to be willing to walk away from the deal. And sellers, I think they are in a tough spot if there is a bigger problem, but they'll have to fix that for the next buyer. So I guess as we wrap this up, the pass or fail inspection is better than nothing, much better than nothing. And really for the buyer, the big difference is it removes your negotiation leverage over repairs or price reductions. But if you negotiate well up front, and sometimes even the pass or fail inspection helps you negotiate better up front, when it comes time for the inspection, there's most likely not going to be really big issues to negotiate over. So you probably got more negotiating here than you would have done over here. Usually inspection negotiations are pretty small. And if there is a bigger item, you're still protecting yourself and giving yourself a chance to get out of the deal while at the same time making an offer that is more compelling for a seller. Thanks so much for watching this video on pass or fail home inspections. If you've gone through a pass or fail home inspection or utilized it in some type of real estate negotiation, maybe you even have questions about it, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you and engage with those comments. And if you know somebody who could benefit from this video, maybe they're buying a house right now or thinking about making a home purchase, please consider sharing it with them.